Hey Kira, me, hi me in the future. It is December 4th, 2012, recording this, and this will be your self-introduction to your video diary. Because we live in the 21st century, and we've long since forgot how to use pencils, and so we do it on video now. So, this will be an introduction to remind you, like, why you're doing this, why, like, just who you are, really. I'm sure you know who you are, but do you remember who you were to become who you are? Him. Do you remember him? He was... You should really go away. Go away. For the fucking millionth time. You know how many of my videos you ruin?
No.
A lot. Go away.
I am the person that ruins the videos.
If any of my older watchers, like, I took down all my videos,
yeah.
Other than a few, or newer ones, like, if any of my older watchers, like, remember my videos, like, I've posted a good few where you ruined them. Like, barking at the dog and shit.
All good.
Kills me. This is like the 7th time I tried recording this. I had it perfect, and then you came in again.
Yay! Okay, now I'm leaving.
Lock my door.
See ya!
Thank you. Not starting over. I don't even remember where I was. Him. You. Who you were. Yeah, you remember him. Or maybe you don't. Who knows? But he was a very conflicted individual. He was very angry, very sad, very alone. He was harmed a lot by people who just chose to hurt him, and he didn't have other people to turn to for it. And, well, other than his family, but he tried that once, and it just made things worse. So, he went through all the stages. He was very sad at first. You know what I'm talking about. About that broken tree branch at the park across the street from this address. From the broken pole in the closet to that little scar going all the way across your neck. It's probably really faded by now, but it's still there, you know. So, he was very sad at first. He lived in his closet for a year of his life, and you know, only coming out to eat or go to school. And the pillows are still in there. If Spanky's still alive, he probably still uses them as bed. But then, as the sadness got blurred, he became angry. He took it out on those people who hurt him physically. And it came very natural for him. He harmed them in ways he didn't know he could do. And it liberated him. It made him, for at least a moment, feel better, like the world wasn't out to get him. Like the world wasn't against him. 'Cause he knew something was wrong, but he thought it was the world. So he took it out on them. And though people hurt him, those numbers were few compared to the amount of people he hurt. Emotionally, physically, he did damage. A lot of it. And he never found his happiness. It was just a vicious circle of pain for himself and for others around him. No one had loyalty to him, for whatever reason that may be. But he always ended up alone. Always. And not a day went by that he didn't think it'd just be easier to be gone. You know? And when he ended up suffering an injury, this injury made him believe he could no longer have children. And so he went to the hospital. They did their tests, and they found he could. And as he walked out, the clouds were rolling and just clumped together. There was a haze of dust being kicked up by the wind. The statue of the dead tree outside the hospital. And a sunset that was making everything glow gold. The entire world was shrouded in gold. From the sky to the haze, making almost the air seem like it was gold. And the dead tree in the very center of this landscape of beauty. And for some reason that triggered a lot of memories to come back. Memories that he had repressed and forgotten. Memories of wearing his mom's heels or his sister's clothes, or the first time he actually comprehended and found out he was male, because he didn't have a very good understanding of the difference before. And the day he found out that people weren't accepting, you remember, the boy getting beat up by 5 kids in elementary school because he liked boys. It was at that point that you knew you had to hide. He knew he had to hide. He couldn't let it be known. He dealt with enough people beating him down on a daily basis. Like, he couldn't handle that, and it only got worse as time went on. But at that moment, when he was 21 and he walked out into that land of gold, he remembered. And he found it wasn't the world that had something wrong with it. It was him. He had something wrong with him. And for so long, he forgot what that was. And it caused a lot of problems. And it was at that moment that he finally found peace. He died at that moment. Because he realized the only reason he was hanging on was because he wanted to have kids someday. But this was much more important. So, it was at that moment you were born. You were born at the age of 21. And it's gonna be a long journey. I've come this far, and it's only been a short period of time. And so much has happened. So, this is why you are doing this video diary. So that you can look back on what is your past, yours, not his, and see who you were, and see and hear your dilemmas of those days, or, you know, your emotions, your happiness, your sadness, your conflictions, just you, as you grow into who you are now, from who I am now. Just remember, he died that day. The day you were born. And even now, no matter how late you're watching this, you are still growing to this day. And I'm sure it's into an amazing person who brings happiness wherever you go. And will never hurt anybody again. So, yeah. Again, it's December 4th, 2012. And this is your first log in your diary to remind you who you are and who you will forever be. Don't forget it. Not again.